Assalamu alaikum viewers. Today I will comment upon the background of the Afghan conflict and the US withdrawal. The Afghan Taliban have been all over the news worldwide because of their victory over the United States. The news shook the world to its very core. It had a huge impact in the region of Central Asia and South Asia. It meant that a new regional power was rising in the world. The Taliban have come a long way from fighting the Soviets to fighting the Americans, all for the freedom of Afghanistan. In December 24, 1979, the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan. Their main goal was to spread their influence in South Asia and also to show off their military might. The Soviet Union was a global superpower which was neck to neck with America. From the look of the situation and the power difference, everybody predicted that Afghanistan would fall to the Russians in a couple of months. But what they didn't expect was that the Russians were struggling in terms of military strength and manpower. Russia outclassed Afghanistan, but Afghanistan had the advantage of terrain and weather. The Soviets were used to cold and snowy weather and flat terrain. When they invaded Afghanistan, they were at a disadvantage because the Soviets had never experienced such a hot weather and mountainous terrain. The Afghan rebels or the Mujahideen took full advantage of this and fought against the Russians. The Taliban were one of the rebels which fought against the Russians using guerrilla warfare. The rebels were supported by the United States. They sent weaponry and supplies to Afghanistan through Pakistan. The United States wanted to make Afghanistan the Soviet Union's Vietnam, and in doing so, they succeeded. The Soviets struggled against the guerrilla warfare of the rebels. This put the Soviet Union in a bad place as they were spending billions of dollars and weren't making any progress. This continued until February 15, 1989. The Soviets had wasted trillions of dollars and still weren't able to conquer Afghanistan. The situation became worse when back home in the Soviet Union, changes were happening because of Mikhail Gorbachev. The communist Soviet Union was slowly turning to democracy. This forced the Soviet Union to pull out. This became the humiliation of the Soviets as they were defeated by some rebels. But this does not mean all problems were solved. Now that the Soviets had left, the rebels had no common enemy left to fight. They started fighting each other for control of Afghanistan. The rebels fought against each other for a while until 2001, September 11, when the 9/11 attack happened. The United States said that the terrorists were hiding in Afghanistan and wanting revenge. They invaded Afghanistan. But the Americans didn't learn from the Soviets' mistakes. They too struggled against the Afghanistan. They couldn't kill the rebels because they would go hiding into the mountains. Also around this time, the Taliban was a rising rebel force in Afghanistan. They used the American weapons against them, the same weapons the United States supplied them with. The United States was fighting with something they created and now were regretting it. For 20 years, the US fought a war which they couldn't win. They spent trillions of dollars and couldn't take the blame, so they blamed Pakistan that they were supplying the Taliban. But in reality, the US couldn't admit that they were defeated by the Taliban. When Joe Biden became the president, he ended the war and pulled out. The once great nation of America, which was known and feared for its military might and patriotic spirit, was in shame leaving Afghanistan. Having not learned from the mistakes of the Soviet Union, the US faced a greater humiliation than the Soviets felt. Afghanistan, a country trapped in the turmoil of war, finally came under the banner of the Taliban. Currently, no one knows what will happen in Afghanistan under the Taliban. The Taliban say that they will create a society of peace and respect women's rights. For now, nobody knows for what will happen. But what people learned was that ignorance can be your biggest downfall. This war not only gave great shame to the US, but also sullied the reputation of the once great global superpower. Afghanistan has proved that no outside superpower can rule and invade it. Viewers, if you enjoyed my commentary and would like to watch more of it, please comment, like, subscribe and share. Thank you for watching. Allah Hafiz.